All right, this is going to be a quick video tutorial on how to do cryotherapy as a reminder for all of us, especially because there's some new people. So first thing to know about the cryotherapy is that we are using something that's extremely cold, liquid nitrogen, which is at about minus 320 degrees Fahrenheit. So super cold, so it can cause burning. That's why there's a certain timing on how long that you can apply the liquid nitrogen to the skin before it starts affecting the deeper tissues and causes more trauma and sloughing of skin. So, we kind of need to be aware of that. The other thing we need to know is safety. So if you're going to fill the cryo yourself, always use the gloves that are provided that will protect your skin, and always use safety goggles. It's a great idea to always use that too, because sometimes the nurses staff might not put on the goggles, and I think if we use it, we need to be good role models of how the proper way to do this to protect ourselves. Okay. All right. So if it's empty and no one is available, whatever, just fill it for you. When you carry it, the safe way to carry it is always with this lever back. Because if you carry it forward and you trip or something like that, you could potentially spray someone. So always carry it with the lever back. Whenever you're done, always replace it back. Never leave the cryo in the room with the family or patient alone. The last thing we want anybody doing is grabbing this and playing with it and causing burns or whatever that we're liable for. So never leave the cryo in the room alone with the patient. All right, so with all that said, this is not gonna freeze very well, but you'll get a good idea of it. So what you're going to do is, obviously you got to prepare the patient to say, you're gonna feel it a little bit, but we'll just get through it. And it's very important to stay still. So you always want to make sure you secure your patient, make sure that their extremity, that they can't move or anything like that, and then start with light sprays until you find the exact area. Once you find it, then what you're going to do is spray. Now you can't see so well there, but what you want to do is spray to create that white rim. You can probably see a little bit of that white rim that develops around it. You have to spray enough to where you get a white rim, and sometimes some warts require a continuous spray, a light continuous spray, and some you just have to spray a little bit, it turns white, you wait some, and don't let the white go all the way down, and then you just kind of keep spraying for the defined amount of time. All right, and then when you're done, it's going to be sore, right? So just out of kindness, always offer a Band-Aid. Some kids want a Band-Aid, some kids don't. The recheck is greater than 10 days, so in 2 weeks. We can treat up to 14 lesions each time. That's just the way the billing goes. So we treat up to 14 lesions each time, although most people wouldn't be able to tolerate 14 lesions. And then if you have a few warts that are like together, like it's almost like you see one wart like this, one wart like, they're sort of like, so when you treat that, sometimes I will only treat one part of it and then the other part. Sometimes I do a spray to encompass all of it. When you do a spray to encompass all of it, sometimes it creates such a big area that you got to realize you're increasing the risk of side effects and tissue trauma. But if you don't treat the whole thing and you only treat one side and not this second one, for example, you also run the risk of developing warts along the edge of the treatment area. So you do have to be careful when you have warts like that. Treat the whole thing, but just be smart about how you do it. Don't just treat part of it. In terms of duration of therapy, I'm going to include this in a handout to you. But basically, with verruca vulgaris, so that's anything not on the plantar surface, you spray and turn the lesion white for 10 seconds. And the margin of treatment around the lesion that needs to be sprayed is 2 millimeters. For verruca plantaris, so plantar wart, you have to spray for 20 seconds, and your margin is 2 millimeters. For pyogenic granuloma, if you're going to do those, it's freeze time of 15 seconds, and you have a very small margin, less than 1 millimeter. And you can actually treat molluscum with this, although this is a really rough and rude way to treat molluscum. I would way rather recommend you use cantharidin. But if you do that, you only spray the papule, and you only spray till the papule itself turns white, and then you stop. You don't do a margin around it. But once again, I would way rather use cantharidin for the molluscum. Okay. If you have any questions about this, let me know, and I'll include some stuff on a handout for you, and also have some of these freeze times and all that written in the EMR. Oh, and lastly, some of these warts will require up to 4 treatments. So don't be shy about telling them, hey, this one's going to shrink a little bit. We're going to come back every 2 weeks. It's better doing that than blasting it super hard for beyond the normal treatment time, because that just can lead to tissue trauma. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks. Bye.